Dr. Homebrew is brought to you by 5 Star Chemicals, providing safety and cleaning supplies for brewing, distilling, and winemaking at 5starchemicals.com.
Doctor, look.
Stand aside, nurse. I'm Dr. Homebrew.
Stand clear.
Everybody, it's Dr. Homebrew time. It's time for a homebrew, and it's prescribed by a doctor. It's a lot like medicinal marijuana, but without the hipster tag attached to it.
Take 2 of these and call me in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah! It's Dr. Homebrew!
Bitches.
Yep. It's just a party. Whatever.
We're still professional.
We are professional.
Aren't we?
I try to be.
As you're in your best, it's just good enough.
We're professional drinkers, or is that how it goes?
I think we're professional critics.
Of ourselves.
We're like
self-deprecating.
What were those people?
Siskel and Ebert. Yeah.
Only less fat and less rich.
Well, he got sick and skinny.
Yeah, he did. Was he missing a jaw?
Yeah, he got some of the jaw gone.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to suck.
I hate when that happens.
But you got enough money. I mean, you're rolling around in your Tesla. Who gives a shit how much of your jaw you have?
I still care about my jaw.
Well,
Pretty sure I will also continue to care about my jaw.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever.
So, the only jaw you ever get.
Well, you can get a prosthetic. I'm sure, right?
I didn't.
Maybe.
You can't?
You should take a rib and
we're
stick it in there.
We're talking to a DDS here. He knows about jaws.
Yeah.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
And what can happen? Oh, don't let it.
Don't let it happen. You know, my wisdom teeth are still, the holes are still there. It hasn't, healed up.
Can I put my fingers in them?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, can I? Really?
Is that normal?
It can be for you.
Yeah. All right. I'm 38 years old. I don't heal as quickly as I used to, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I had mine out pretty late, too, and I got the dry socket thing, but
that's because
they're normal.
That's because you did stupid things.
Probably.
I got mine out 31 or 32, late, too. So...
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't feel so gnarly about it, but it was just why is this still happening?
I still want to put my
it's
fingers
a pocket for beer, so you can just put beer in there.
I should stop storing shit like popcorn kernels and shit like that.
Here at work, you just I need a little taste of beer.
Stuff some hops back in there.
Yeah.
And then drink your IPA.
Two things I'll never do.
He dry mollered it.
We have a cool show for you guys. I know I say that all the time, but this time I really, really mean it. We're going to talk with William, who he sent in a Brettanomyces, a Brett Saison, which is pretty much kind of like the norm. That's the new hotness, it seems like, on the show, Brian. It's the third or eighth,
we've seen
whatever
some
it is.
Saisons, commercial ones in the pub here and homebrewed,
yeah. And then we have Ernie in studio, proud member of Doze. What did you send us, Ernie? I haven't even tasted it, so I have no idea what it is.
I call it my Northeast Kentucky Breakfast Stout.
Okay.
Because you're from...
No,
Concord.
it has nothing to do with me at all.
You just always wanted to be from Kentucky?
It's because it was aged in a maple bourbon barrel, and it's breakfast stout. It's coffee and chocolate.
All right.
Okay, awesome. That'll be good. That'll be good. A good thing to end on, Doc, right?
We ended on that?
Yes, yeah. That's the second one.
Oh, so he gets to sit here through the first brutal one?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah, he does.
Sounds like fun to me.
But before we get to that, I do want to thank our sponsor, 5 Star Chemicals.
Yes.
Go to 5starchemicals.com and learn about everything you need to sanitizationally clean and sanitize.
Yeah, that thing.
Sanitize, right?
Sanitizationally.
Can we get Chris Graham on here to pronounce it for us?
I want to make that a drop. Just
sanitization.
Push the button
or
here.
whatever he calls it.
Sanitization.
And I was sad this last weekend because I went to find my PBW.
Yeah.
Oh, I was out.
Oh, bummer.
You didn't get free packets at the...
I did. I got it taken away out of my luggage before.
No.
And a cool TSA letter that tells me I can't have anything...
We confiscated your white powder, sir.
Oh, it said
wouldn't be the first time.
It said acid sanitizer or whatever it said on there.
Yeah.
You cannot have acid, sir, in your luggage. And I didn't even notice it was gone because I just kind of threw it in there at the end. And about 2 months later, I get the TSA letter.
You got a letter?
Oh yeah, the letter telling me why I couldn't have this acid stuff in my luggage.
Okay.
In a prepackaged small thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took it out.
And now you're on the watch list.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. They're watching you. Well, anyways, it's not the fault of 5-Star Chemicals.
No,
you know why? Because they have a dirty plane, and they didn't want it to be cleaned. That's how good of a clean... I don't know.
No, it's just stupid people looking through my luggage.
It's stupid. Right, for sure. But anyway, folks, check them out, 5starchemicals.com. They were at NHC this past month, so if you were lucky enough to swing by their booth and chat with the lovely ladies there, they're always a good time. But they're going to be around at the next homebrew thing for sure. They kind of travel all over the place preaching the good word of clean and then sanitize. You can't do both at the same time. It just doesn't work as well as one and then the other. So 5starchemicals.com. Right. Buy it at a local homebrew shop. If your local homebrew shop doesn't have it, ask them to purchase it. Okay, let's stop beating around the bush. Let's get William on the line here, because this poor guy, this poor basted, has been waiting and waiting and waiting. I've already pushed him back. I pushed him back 42 minutes now. 42 minutes. This guy's just been hanging out. He's like, all right. Hello. William, are you there?
Yep.
How you doing, man?
So
doing all right. How you doing?
Where are you from? Like, what state are you in?
At the moment, I'm in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, okay. So it's not too bad. I shouldn't feel too terrible.
No.
Okay.
Where'd you grow up?
I moved here from Florida, so that would have been way worse.
So I don't forgive you.
Yeah, I was just saying, 42 minutes, man. But you're a trooper. You know how it goes on the.
What time is it at your house right now?
I'm hanging on for you guys. 10:43 now.
Oh, you're fine.
He's all right.
Yeah,
he's good.
I'll make it.
Yeah, we have faith. We can tell in your voice. You're not wavering at all. Hey, man, so before we get into... Here, I should open this beer, but while I get the beer out, tell us how long you've been homebrewing, man.
I started homebrewing in 2013 in Florida, just because I couldn't afford to drink all the cool beers that were coming out. And then got married a year later and moved up to Denver.
What was a cool beer?
Oh, like originally it was straight up like Magic Hat number 9.
That was the beer that you wanted to brew?
That was the one that blew my mind first.
There's so many people that blew their mind.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Magic Hat number... That's the apricot beer?
Yeah, that's right. And I still have a recipe for it in my phone, but I've never done it.
So, ironically, after all of that...
You've only been brewing 3 years, dude.
Yeah, I've got time.
You got plenty of time, man.
Yeah, I haven't got around to it.
Round it out a little bit.
So you sent us a Brett Saison or something, right? Can you clarify that a little bit for us?
Yeah, it's a hodgepodge of all kinds of wild yeast and stuff. It was sort of when I first got into tinkering with sour beers and listening to the Sour Hour a bunch. I have access to some pretty good bugs out here via some of the more popular breweries, such as like Avery and Crooked Stave. So this is sort of a couple like White Labs Brett pitches, and then just some bottle dregs to kind of give it that full rainbow of character.
Okay. Are you like? It sounds like you're like watering the lawn or something.
No, I don't know.
In the background,
is your mic like maybe rubbing against my
beard?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah. If you wouldn't mind like tying that down, just because
tie that back.
Yeah, tie that back. Tie that beard back a little bit. Tame that mane.
That's a first, but yes.
All right, thanks, man.
Wait, you have a beard? No.
I know, right?
Which is weird. Nobody in this room has a beard.
No, shaved mine. Okay, well that's cool. I like that. I like that you're using your local resources.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, the Crooked Stave dregs are monstrous. They kind of tore through the whole thing.
All right. Well, Brian, why don't you start us out, man?
All right. Yeah. So aroma-wise, got a light fruitiness. It's got kind of a low. So, being declared as a Saison, I'm looking for a little bit of that kind of pepperiness, phenolics. There's a little bit of that, kind of a low white pepper, but it's pretty backgroundy. And that can get buried with sours, too. The main fruitiness is like an apricot, and it's got a little bit of pear in there, too. Some esters and sour elements, too. Just a little bit of a kind of a mustiness and like a little bit of barnyard kind of thing. It's like the Brett character seems pretty light, but it's not. There's a lot else going on here too. So yeah, no hop, just a low bready kind of base malt in the background. No DMS, diacetyl or anything like that. Just has a light impression of sourness in the aroma. It's not like, oh, this is going to be an intense, like bitingly sour beer, which is kind of pleasant. So I don't know how much it dried out before you soured it, but that'd be interesting to talk about. Appearance-wise, it's very clear. Nice golden color. Had a very low white head that faded pretty much immediately to a rim of fine white bubbles. And, there's reasons that heads can fall flat on a sour beer. Different elements of the bugs can kick out in there. So that can be forgivable. But ideally with a Saison, you'd want a nice fluffy white head. Okay, yeah. With sour Saison, it's going to be a different animal. Yeah. Flavor-wise, I do get a pleasant fruity sourness up front at kind of a medium low level. It's just a nice little tang with a kind of a bread crusty background from the malt. There's some alcohol evident here. You can definitely tell it's not low alcohol, but it's not way over the top either. There's a balance-wise, it's kind of just balancing that fruitiness and the low sour element, and that sticks around in the finish. That tartness lingers in the aftertaste. Finish is pretty dry as it should. There's definitely, again, some alcohol, a little bit of that mustiness that I got in the aroma, a little, maybe a little horse blanket from the Brett, but it does not seem like an extensively aged Brett beer. So there is the mouthfeel wise, it's got a kind of a low astringency to it. There's a little bit of kind of puckeriness, like grape skins, kind of a biting. There's some warmth in here, and it's almost a bit hot. Not very creamy.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I'll give you that.
As you keep drinking it, you can really feel it in the back of your throat and down into your chest a little bit. Not very creamy, smooth, just kind of, and the carbonation is pretty low. Body is medium light, kind of out of the way. Overall, I found it to be a pleasant drinking sour. And some of the sour Saisons can express themselves in different ways. Some of them can retain a little bit more of the Saison base style and express a little bit of that, the pepperiness and some of the fruitiness that comes out of there, kind of the punch bowl thing. I'm getting mainly just apricot in this. It's kind of a one-trick pony as far as the fruit goes. And, the beer has just a little bit of an attack to it. And it's not just the sourness. It's the combination of the alcohol and the sourness seems to be accenting each other. And, I don't know. It's a very interesting beer. I gave it a 31. I think that a little more aging on this will bring out that Brett character a little more, make it more interesting, and also possibly soften some of those other elements. It's not going to bring up the pepperiness or anything like that. Here, honestly, too much of that would detract anyway. It would probably just clash with the alcohol that's there. So when you brew the original beer, just keep the alcohol as soft as you can, and if you do drive up that fermentation temperature, just make sure you start as lower and get the bulk of the fermentation out of the way, and keep the yeast really happy, so you don't get a Saison shouldn't have a bunch of higher alcohols in it. There can be a lot going on in it, but it shouldn't be a hot bomb. And it's not. I don't want to say this beer is a hot mess.
Not at all.
It's just
It's not for
it's
sure.
got a little biting impression in the back of the throat. It's very warming, and so it's interesting. Like if that was gone, this would probably be a 40-point beer. I really like that apricot flavor. I like the fruitiness that is there, and it's a fun beer. So
do you need to tend to your goat?
Our kid.
That's the newborn who I thought would make the appearance.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations. See, he's used to not sleeping.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, dude.
Well, you got him down in the basement, right?
Yeah. All right, Doc, go for it, dude. Let's see what you got.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what I got. At first, I didn't even know what the hell this beer was. It said TS on it. I was guessing. JP didn't give me any guidelines.
That's not what happened.
Wow.
You didn't look at the email, which had the guidelines in it.
He should know that I don't do the emailing thing.
It's my fault, William.
I look at my email about every 2 days-ish, maybe.
Okay.
Should we just pause the show for 20 minutes so that Doc can go properly judge this beer? Can we do that?
I listen pretty regularly, so I was kind of expecting all of that.
Yeah.
Good.
JP knows that he texted me. He almost gets an immediate text back.
I don't know that. Anyway, continue with the beer.
Don't voicemail me because that's all fucking no way.
All right.
So anyway, I'm basically went into this blind.
Yes.
Cool.
And
awesome.
Totally fucking blind. I don't know what the hell is this. I was trying to get what TS meant. Totally stupid. I don't know what this was. So I kind of figured it was probably a Saison as soon as I started smelling it.
You don't know, man. It's that new TS beer, dude. Everybody's drinking that stuff.
Oh man, I tried everything I could, but so with the aroma, that's
TSA.
Yeah, fuckers. So anyway,
I'm out of PBW too, actually, so I feel for you.
It shows. So I totally got on the aroma. Yeah. Oh, as I wrote down some Brett shit here. And then I got a lot of green apple with it, though. There's no head whatsoever. It just went freaking flat right away. Very clear, though. So has it been around a while?
Yeah, this thing's from actually from September of last year.
Yeah, I figured as much because it's brilliantly clear, which is really nice.
That's not all that old for a sour either. So.
For a beer anyway. And for usually we don't see things that are that old and still that clear.
Right.
Which kind of tipped me off that maybe it's been around a little while, which is nice. I got a really sweet aroma. I did get the stone fruit like you did, Brian. Definitely. I got a lot of the sweetness. I got the alcoholic sweetness.
Yeah,
coming through too. I actually got a little mint in the aroma mint. Too. Huh. Yeah, really good. Try it again. I got some mint in there. It's
the mint julep of beer.
Yes, it's the mint julep of beer. So appearance, it was a nice party yellow. Again, no head with it. It just. I tried to pour it twice, and it just the head just nothing.
Yeah.
Flavor wise, I got a lot of cidery, just cider.
Cider. Okay.
Yeah. So again, I'm tasting this thing blind. Is this supposed to be a cider that went sour? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell right away that there was some, not just you threw Brett in there. There's some wild stuff too.
Yeah, there's a balance. Or there's not a balance, but
I could tell
a depth of flavors.
A depth of flavors, yeah. Yes. But it was. I could just tell the sourness was not just from the normal Brett or the 4 strains of Brett that we usually get. There's some wild stuff rolling around in here, and it was kind of nice. It did give a big depth of flavor.
Yeah.
It was a little sharp, maybe a little hot. With that, but you dry the beer out enough, and with the sour flavors, you're going to get some of the sharpness with it. With the mouthfeel, I got kind of sharp and astringent on the same thing. maybe a little too much. I got a nice medium mouthfeel. It wasn't too thin, where you can strip the hell out of these things.
Yeah, totally.
And they're not. There's just nothing left, and you got a good looking beer, and it just drops out. It just tastes so thin, and there's nothing to back it up. I got a little syrupy and ropey with it, though. That kind of adds to the whole mouthfeel of the medium.
Even though it's been sitting around for so long?
Yeah.
Because usually the ropiness means it's not done doing whatever it does.
I still got ropiness with it.
Okay.
And it just kind of detracted a bit from the mouthfeel. So the overall thing, I didn't get a lot of complexity with it. It's kind of a one-trick pony. I'd like to see more happening with it. A bit sour and tart.
What do you want more of?
It's just tough to say when you're trying to describe sour flavors.
Okay.
More barnyard, more horse blanket. It's stupid, but it's kind of that. I want more lactic.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't done a malolactic fermentation, there's a big difference when you do it.
Yeah.
It actually changes a mediocre beer to a really nice beer when you do a malolactic fermentation. So it's kind of that. I had more of one and less of the other. The main detraction from this beer is it really wasn't a Saison to me.
Yeah.
I was really trying. Trust me, I was doing this blind. And I was kind of getting down to being a Saison, but, it just wasn't peppery. It wasn't barnyardy enough.
Yeah.
And so that's the whole thing. That it's a nice beer. I like it. It was a bit cidery for me, though.
Yeah.
A little appley. I didn't like that much. But mostly, I didn't like it as a Saison. It didn't have enough of those Saison characteristics.
Yeah.
So I'm in the 29 area with this thing. Not a bad beer.
Yeah.
It's fun to drink for what it is. Yeah, definitely.
But it got knocked down a lot because of the category.
Yeah.
If you had to put it in a category, I wouldn't have put it in this category, and you would have got 7 more points.
Yeah.
Easily. But you got to figure out what category. That's the biggest problem, is what category do you put it in.
Well, how was it as a Saison when you first brewed the beer, or did you let it go all the way through fermentation, or did you add the Brett right away?
This was actually brewed as a sour. I was thinking the category would be more like the 28B for 2015 guidelines for just a mixed sour.
Yeah.
But yeah, the tart Saison was actually sort of the original goal, and some of the bugs that got thrown in just sort of took over.
Yeah. It seems like something other than the Brett got really happy in there. And, had some fun. And I'd like to see how it develops.
So did you use the Saison yeast?
No, actually. So it was originally just supposed to be like an imperial Saison, and I just wanted to make sure I had the Brett character. And then sort of towards the end, it just ended up being only a Brett Saison, and I had a couple bottles one from Crooked Stave and then one from another brewery that's doing some kick-ass sours here called True. So those all went in, I was kind of convinced that the Brett would sort of have enough of itself to dominate the beer, and then I'd get a little bit of tart from the Crooked Stave bugs. But it to me, the sourness just comes straight from that.
True's the metal brewery, right?
Yeah,
I love that place. The beers were okay. I had one sour that's pretty good, but it's just fucking metal, dude. They have a black metal altar. It's awesome.
I thought I was going to a concert the first time I walked in.
Yeah, I was like, oh, dude, this is fucking rad.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I'm sorry, Brent. So you didn't. So what makes this a Saison then? If there's no Saison yeast,
really, it would have just been it was the Saison farmhouse from True that went into it, and then I was just thinking that the Brett would give it a good farmhouse character. Yeah. But when it got that sour, it kind of definitely jumped out of Saison character.
There's a little peppery, I think, somewhere in the. Yeah. But I think that is. I'm not going to say a flaw, but I think that detracts from the lovely sour notes. There's this like acid base thing where it sort of neutralizes one another, and I focus on a lot of the peppery that comes through, which isn't a whole lot, but that's what I'm picking up on, and it seems harsh to me on my tongue.
It's kind of a good thing it's not higher because even though that would make it more like the style, it would fight with the.
So I was going to say don't put the Saison yeast in there, but you didn't. But that's how much I thought you actually. It actually was like you had a yeast in there because there are those notes which probably came from some of the dregs. But I think this is 95% an awesome sour beer. But that pepperiness just I don't know, man.
It's not there.
It pulls it away.
And
I don't like it. I want it to be a Saison.
I call this a golden sour.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Yeah,
but when you try to shoehorn it into the Saison category, that's where you're going to lose many points on that one. It's a really nice beer. It's
a really good beer, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun sort of experiment. The bill was pretty simple, but all the Brett and all the dregs went in at the same time, and I just let them sort of fight to survive.
Fucking Thunderdome.
Yeah, that's right.
All the dregs enter, one dreg leaves.
And the thing about judges is that they're assholes. If you give them a certain thing that they just key onto that, like, oh man, this is supposed to be a Saison, but it doesn't taste like a Saison. Yeah. Then if you don't give them all that information, you don't say Saison. Well, it's just a freaking beer. Drink it and judge it. They're like, well, you didn't give me enough information to judge it by. So, we're jerks. I'm sorry.
You are.
But having the opportunity to actually talk to the judges in the process, that's good.
It's mostly JP.
But with the Brett, what you do need to do is leave some of the longer chain starches for it to chew on, and it takes a long time to act. You might want to, if you want the Brett character to be heavy, you might want to pitch it in before you add the other bugs, especially if they're just happy and rambling through stuff, and you get it fresh from a brewery or a fresh bottle with dregs. That stuff can take over, and Brett takes a while. It might come out more as you let the beer age. I would let this sit for another 5 months and then see what it tastes like then.
I tell you, I would not be disappointed if I paid money for this and this is what I got. I would go back to this. And I haven't said that very often on the show, if ever. Yeah. But I would actually buy this beer because you found the bugs to make a really a beer with a lot of depth and flavor.
Yeah, and
a sour beer, which is hard to do.
A detail of declaring the Brett or not. I mean, there is some Brett. You can detect it in here. It's low. But if you declare Brett and you don't declare any other sour, it's in mixed fermentation sour, true. But you will be just looking for that Brett. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, mixed fermentation. I think you can put a lot of different things in there, and you don't need to declare that it's Brett. It could be one of them. But then again, you're leaving out some information, and we're just jerks. But anyway, sorry.
No, that's great. I think if I ever did this recipe again, I'd hold off on the monstrous sour bugs from Crooked Stave until a couple weeks in.
I love harvesting dregs, man. I've got a closet going with all kinds of stuff and some. I made a Scottish ale that finished way too sweet. Then I put it on my consecration ale bugs and let it go with that. So we're gonna see where that goes. And
nice.
I use some rare barrel bugs. Now this one reminds me a little bit of some of the rare barrel stuff from Berkeley here out in our neck of the woods, and has that, some of them have that little apricot-y note in them, and we did a club project with bugs from theirs, and we made we called it a lambic, but it was just 50% wheat malt, 50% pills, kind of a light golden sour, and aged it in a wine barrel, like a white wine barrel, Chardonnay, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, but it came out having this kind of apricot-y thing, and as it ages, it gets really interesting. It doesn't have any Brett in it, but this tastes more like that than like a heavy Brett beer. So,
cool. It's definitely not a heavy Brett beer.
No,
but you can also do just get one. If you get into blending, just get one carboy going with just Brett, and then blend it to taste. Where you can just make a custom mix with something like this with another Brett beer, bring out different elements in have another one that's been exposed to more oxygen, a little acetic, and blend that in, give it a little edge, and you can do some really fun things. And just read that Tonsmer book with the sours and listen to Sour Hour. I'm sure you said you do, so you probably do all of that, and you're having some fun.
Yeah, he's
so
like, all right,
that's cool, man. That's cool.
Do you have any questions for the guys, Will?
No, not really. I mean, I did want to mention in the recipe there is a pound of rye, which might be some of that spiciness.
Okay,
interesting.
Yeah, and then it's all Magnum hopped and even a little bit late hopped. So I'm curious if like some of that mint might be coming from the Magnum hops.
That could be, yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
so that's kind of cool that you guys could pick it all out. I kind of purposely didn't want to tell you too much about it.
No, sometimes we don't like too much info. Yeah, and I've been seeing some dry hopped sours and stuff coming out, and if they're done tastefully, it can be really fun. Really fun.
My favorite Rare Barrel beer is their dry hop sour. They're egregious. With dry hop golden sour with Amarillo.
That's great.
Oh, God, I fucking love that beer so much. That is my favorite beer they make.
And they're never going to bottle it.
Which is fine. I will go there and drink it all day long. I love that beer. I can't get enough of it. Anyway, William, we'll let you split, man, and go take care of the goat and watering the lawn or whatever you're doing.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'm sorry to hear about Lee. And
thank you, man.
It's good to hear from JP and Doc. I haven't talked to you since the Labruski cruise. So.
Oh, awesome.
Cool.
Good times.
Yeah, we made it. We made it back.
Absolutely, barely.
For sure.
All right. Thanks for sharing.
All right, man.
Well, you guys have a good one. Thanks so much.
You too.
Take care.
Bye. Bye-bye. Were you supposed to know him, Doc?
Oh, God.
I met so many people.
Was he Jesus or was he
Well, why did you ask him?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where you go like, oh, yeah.
No.
I should know you.
We should.
I'm not very good with social interactions, Doc. You know that.
I woke up most mornings going, oh, Doc, so-and-so's talking about you. Like, who?
Yeah.
I blacked out a lot.
I woke up most mornings, and so that's a win.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, stay tuned. We're going to hear a couple commercials, and then we'll be right back, and we're going to talk some more beer. It's Dr. Homebrew. Stay tuned, and, don't go anywhere.
Hello, fellow BNers. This is Sully from the 21st Amendment Brewery located in San Francisco, just 2 blocks from Giants Park. Before Nico and I opened the 21A and before I was a professional brewer, I homebrewed on my small 4-burner apartment stove in a back house in Santa Monica, California, making my extract brews before graduating to the daunting idea of all-grain brewing. Homebrew books and information was hard to come by back then. The internet hadn't been invented yet, along with other things we take for granted today, like electricity and potable water. One thing I wish I had back then when I was learning was a radio show that could teach me the ins and outs of brewing and answer questions that I had about homebrewing, a resource for making great craft beer. The 21st Amendment Brewery is excited to be a proud sponsor of Dr. Homebrew, a great show that teaches you what you need to know about making incredible beer. Good stuff. Listen up, you might learn something. I certainly did. And thanks for your support. Tasty Crack Games.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states, plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small, single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite Bare Bones Club, where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy shit!
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business. Now, back to the examination.
Hey, thanks for hanging out, everyone.
Hey, we don't have to call anybody on Skype this segment.
Woohoo! No, we don't. Yeah, we have Ernesto in the studio.
As long as he knows how to talk into the mic, we're all good.
Hopefully I can handle that.
You're doing all right. You got a little Alton Brown thing going on right now, though. Anyone want to tell you that?
No.
Yeah?
Is that good or bad? I like Alton Brown.
It's indifferent. Well, then it's great.
Okay.
He's not like an ugly man. I'm not hitting on you either. I'm just saying you just got like an Alton Brown thing happening.
He's not a totally hideous man.
Right.
You'll probably be okay.
Yeah. If like if you walked across a bridge, you wouldn't come out from under it and say, "What are you doing?" But you know.
Well, because he doesn't have that hump on his back.
Well, that's probably true too. Before we get, oh yeah, I got to do that one too. Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Oh Jesus Christ!
I'm going all over the place.
Oh, ow.
Oh shit! Where'd it go? Go? There it is, right there. You know,
sucks.
That's what happened with my with the sour beers that I drink. You ever get like a little phlegm afterwards? So I just chugged that. I finished my glass of that sour beer from William, and
you can almost choke a little bit.
Yeah, I got a little phlegm like in the back, and I'm trying to like clear my throat.
The ropiness.
Is that what it is?
I was telling you about.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the ropiness I was telling you about.
So excuse me, I got improper beer ropiness throat syndrome.
Got the rope throat.
I got BRTC.
I didn't see any rope
throat.
I got rope throat. Jesus. I want to talk to Jay and Alex about rope throat.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they had it.
Next time they do Sour Hour, I'm going to call in and go, can you tell... Excuse me, this is Benjamin from New Jersey. Can you tell me about rope throat, please? I'll take my answer off the air. Before we go on, I do want to tell you guys about the iDip.
The dip?
It's the Smart Water Brew Testing Kit, which is the iDip. It incorporates a revolutionary photometer system, which is the first and only one on the market with its own app. This thing communicates from the photometer, which is just a little handheld device. Don't be scared. Everything is going to be okay.
Photometer.
And then it beams to your phone via Bluetooth. So it's pretty rad. You don't have to write anything down. You don't have to do any math. You can use it at the home. You can use it in your commercial brewery if you happen to be one of those people that's lucky enough to have their own commercial brewery. It's the only meter on the market that runs water tests with no math.
That's like
on your part.
About the size of like a refractometer. It's not big. You just put a little sample of your testing water in there, and you shake a little strip in there for 20 seconds, and it counts down for you. Super easy to use. And then it just blinks for a second and gives you the result right there.
How many people in this room have one?
I have one. And I'm not trying to influence the scores at all, but I used it before I brewed this beer.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, I did.
Oh, wow.
Hands up. Who has one?
I have one at home because JP gave it to me.
2 out of 4?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Well, if you brewed, I would let you use it. But you don't
let me use it.
Yeah.
Oh, but you have one?
We have the BN. We have a BN one essentially that Brian's using.
Yeah.
Get your shit
I'm
together.
Pretty popular in my homebrew club right now.
I like your Zymatic.
Well, yeah, but that's mine.
I'm eyeing that bitch.
That's mine.
I'm gonna get my own.
Are you?
Oh yeah.
Let me know before you do.
Why?
Because we can get employee discount.
Really?
Yeah.
You're funny.
Why? Okay, anyway, moving on.
I have a B3 discount.
Okay, but the iDip, not the Zymatic, the iDip, it has over 40 different water quality tests. 4 come preloaded, and you can test for things like total alkalinity, chloride, calcium hardness, pH, sulfate, and more with only 4 mils of water, which is pretty cool. It's patented, safe, and simple reagent testing method that anyone can use, even probably Doc, I would imagine.
I could probably do that.
There's a BN special podcast listeners. Enter code TBN10 at checkout and save $10 on either the standard or advanced Smart Brew testing kit.
Get it.
Order now and make this futuristic technology part of your brewing process.
Get it now.
How do you order? You go to smartbrewkit.com. That's smartbrewkit.com.
Or you go to your homebrew club's leadership and tell them that you need this for a club activity, and you'll just keep it afterwards.
Yeah, you will be. Oh, you could be the official club water tester.
I'll take care of it.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
We'll test everybody's water. Everybody's happy, and then
you can do what I did. I convinced my friend to buy it at HomebrewCon last year in San Diego, and he lets me use it for half the year.
There you go.
That's nice. You get partial custody of that thing.
Exactly.
I like it. All right, so Ernie, Ernesto, Nesto, what do you want to be called?
Nesto.
Nesto? Okay.
Ernesto?
There.
Nesto?
Just Nesto.
I don't know why Ernie fell out. That's weird, because I haven't called you Ernie.
Come on.
I remember.
Oh, because it's on your email.
Steve.
That's why.
I'm also Steve as well.
That's right.
Oh, jeez.
That's easy.
Steve's back.
Easy slide from one to the other.
You're bringing up old
didn't we have another
show
Steve
stuff,
on that
man.
show, too? They were like,
I think so.
It was
Everyone was Steve.
Hour.
Right. So you are a repeat offender here on the Brewing Network.
I am.
Or rather on Dr. Homebrew. How long, let's recap, how long have you been homebrewing since the last time you...
I've been homebrewing since 2003. Buddy of mine who's watching us on live stream, hopefully, taught me how to brew in 2003. And about 4 years ago, I got my own brewing system, a nice metric Braumeister that I started brewing on.
Awesome.
I've been doing it myself.
Those things are great. I like the Braumeister. Yeah,
Yep.
we started getting that more beer when I was just leaving, and I was able to do a lot of testing on them. And those are so nice.
Yeah,
those
beautiful.
are rad.
Beautiful.
Those are good.
And there's something about metric calculations too. I mean, we'll get confused and say I used 6 grams of this, and then
Well, my grain bill was 10.9 kilograms. So.
That's all. That's
so you are.
And how many liters of water, sir?
Well, my final batch was 30 liters of water.
30 liters. Okay.
And that's all foreign to me. I've never heard those numbers before.
And your sodium rate was at how many microns?
I got to look that one up.
Our European fans are like,
So you made a Northeast Kentucky breakfast stout. Wood-aged beer. Base beer is Imperial Oatmeal Stout. Imperial is in quotes. Aged in a bourbon barrel, added coffee and cocoa nibs.
So is there a Southwest Kentucky breakfast stout?
No, it is Northeast.
No, is there to counteract this?
Oh, to counteract this one? I guess if you put chili peppers in.
Is that what the Southeast would be?
And a lot of bourbon.
And more bourbon.
And more bourbon,
More
right,
bourbon.
exactly right. A high bourbon, high rye kind of a thing. Okay, well, Doc.
Oh, I'm going to start this out?
Let's start with you.
Okay. Too bad you're sitting close to me.
He's in arm's distance.
He's in between both of us here.
He's in reaching.
Okay, good. So, read the label, fell in love with it right away. I swear to God.
Cue the schmaltzy music.
I did right away. So, the cocoa nibs and the coffee. I love Imperial Stout, period. Just hands down. You put it in the wood age category. We'll talk about that later. You definitely got coffee and chocolate in the aroma, hands down. A hint of oxidation, maybe some sherry in there. Is it older?
Yeah. Brewed it in November.
Yeah. So it's got a little. With this kind of beer, you can't say staling. Because cool stuff comes from it when you get these sherry-like qualities to it, and any other beer you would call it staling, but it adds something to this beer when you do that. A little bit musty, probably, because it's probably older. How did you bottle it?
This one was bottled. It's been in the bottle for probably about 4 months now.
How did you bottle it?
Counter pressure for Blickman beer gun.
Okay. That's two different things.
Excuse me. Yes, that's why I corrected. That's why I corrected myself.
Okay. I didn't smell any barrel character whatsoever in it, so I was kind of looking for that because it said wood aged and bourbon barrel and stuff. Nothing in the aroma. Didn't get any. I expected a lot more. Dark color, freaking awesome. Kind of these ruby highlights to it. It was just look at you can see right on the edge. Just these cool ruby highlights. I didn't get a lot of legs off of it. a little bit, maybe, alcohol-y legs. The head, just almost non-existent. When I poured it, just went flat. That could be from a lot of things. But just, in the period, it didn't make me love this beer any less.
We can blame that on JP's handling, right?
Yeah, well,
yes.
Why
not?
Why not? It's all about JP. And he made your beer less. So I was looking at flavor. I got a little heat from the alcohol. So I noticed a bigger beer. It was like 6.5, I think. And I'll bet it's more than that. I really do. I'll bet it's more than that. I got a little, because I got a lot of sweetness from the alcohol, and I actually got some fusels, just a little bit of fusels, not a lot. Very dry finish, which kind of detracted from the whole thing. Basically, this is an imperial stout. I don't like them that dry. I guess it's just too much dryness for me.
This is too dry, or just in general, you don't like drier than this?
I don't like drier than this. This is too dry for an imperial stout. I don't.
Okay.
When it starts getting down into like Irish stouts,
too dry.
I'll go into the next beer.
Okay.
But I see an imperial stout. I love the roundness of them and the kind of the sweetness, that base sweetness that they have. And I didn't get that. And it was just a little too dry for me. Definitely not enough wood character, basically, in the whole flavor. The balanced bitterness was actually really kind of cool. You listed it as 52 IBUs. I didn't taste 52 IBUs in this thing.
Are you saying they're not there? Or are you saying
no, I'm saying the malt backbone really balanced it.
Yeah.
After 7 months, that's going to fade somewhat.
Yeah, it's going to fade too. But 52 IBUs, it's the calculations. But still, I really liked it because all the malt really balanced that out really well. Got to give it props for that one. Mouthfeel, it was a lot thinner than I expected it would be. Like with most barrel-aged beers, you expect everything to be accentuated, and I didn't get it with this one. I thought it was just thinner, and with being in the barrel, I thought you're going to get a lot of vanillas and a lot of tannins, and a lot of stuff out of the barrel. It just kind of makes this. It's kind of like this beer on steroids. I was already a beefy guy, and then you put him on steroids, and I didn't get that out of this one. I get some dry tannins in the finish. I get a little bit of chalkiness. Did you try to deal with the water?
I did. Remember? I used my eye dip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can look up my additions.
Yeah,
I did have to make some additions.
And, with this much roasted malts and everything else in there, you're going to have to basically make it chalky. You made it a little too chalky.
Yeah.
I just got that in the end.
Do me a favor, because you've said this for a couple of beers in the past few shows, and I think I see what you're saying. But can you help me figure that descriptor out?
Okay, so it gets dry.
Yeah.
And then I'm like licking a chalkboard, and it's minerally, like gypsum-y, like you're licking drywall.
Yeah. Okay. So on the back of my tongue, I'm still getting some of that syrupy, the malt.
But on the
on the tip,
and the tip of the two sides, right in the front,
the
two sides, I'm getting
like a powderiness.
That's yes.
You wouldn't want to say bitter.
No.
But it's a powdery.
To me, it's like dusty, and I think I said on the last show, there's a dusty thing.
Okay, what's chalk?
Well, it's right. That's why I'm saying it. But
and that's what I'm getting.
But I think powdery.
Powdery's a good one too.
Is better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So powdery, chalky.
That's a mineral thing.
And it's a mineral. It's very minerally. So I think maybe you overdid it. And trying to counteract the acidic malts, and it has this kind of astringent. It's astringent and powdery and chalky kind of thing.
Okay.
And it just almost super dry. Like it goes.
I see what you're saying.
So
for sure.
Like almost no flavor, and it's still there on my tongue. The thin body to me that's the problem with this thing is it should have more, shoulders, and that's a little distracting to me because of that. This should be a fucker on steroids. It should be a bro. And
but it's like a guy who hits the gym and does weights but forgets leg day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
it's not broy enough.
No, his truck's not lifted enough.
Yeah.
Okay. His bill of his hat isn't flat enough.
So I need to get a Ford F350 and not a 150.
Right. And just jack that motherfucker right up.
You can't be a bro with a 150, but so that was a little distracting. It's just the body is just a little too thin for me. You probably know ways to fix that, or we can talk about it after this. I think after Brian and everything else. It just needs. I would not put this in the wood flavored at all. Period. I got no wood flavor. The mouthfeel isn't there. I didn't get the extras from the barrel anywhere. I am just giving you props too. Is when you put it in the barrel and all I get is wood, you're going to get worse. And I get no wood character after this whatsoever. I like to see more barrel stuff, more barrel characteristics, which are going to be your stronger flavors, your stronger aromas, the different mouthfeel. They're kind of like that 150% kind of thing. I'm just not getting that. If you put it just in the stout class, you'd do fucking good with this thing. It's a really nice beer. I didn't get a lot of faults. I got no diacetyl. I got no weird things off of this thing. The big thing is the classification. That's the big downfall. I give you a 31. If you're in the just the stout class, I probably give you a 40. Really would. This thing is pretty fucking cool. I really like it. But just because you put it in the wood age, I got no wood off of this thing. I got no wood with it. So that's my biggest distractor was the fact that it shouldn't be in the wood characteristics.
Okay.
At all.
All right.
Good beer all the way around, though.
Thanks, man. For sure. All right, Brian.
Okay.
You're up, buddy.
Yeah, Kentucky Breakfast Stout, bourbon barrel aged with coffee and cocoa nibs. So, yeah. In the aroma, I really enjoyed the aroma. It has coffee and chocolate up front, low roastiness, and some vanilla notes. I found some booziness in there. It's low. It's balanced very, very well against everything else that's there, but it's so subtle that it just comes in. It's very well in check. I don't like a booze monster, and I might have disagreed with Doc on other beers like this too, where you declare a booze barrel and it needs to have like a certain amount before it's really acceptable. I'm getting some. It's not absent. And I don't know. I disagree in that if you put this in a regular stout category, some judges are going to find that the booze barrel and definitely like say, whoa, what's going on there? And they might detect it as a sweetness. I actually judged it with a friend at the other night, and I didn't tell him the bourbon barrel part, and he's like, there's a sweetness in here that's just, there's something sweet about it, and it's just a little weird, and he scored it lower than I did, but he wasn't, and then when I said bourbon barrel, then it suddenly made sense to him, and he's like, yeah, that's what that is, okay, and it's subtle, but it's there, so that, someone who wasn't declared that, they picked it out, but they couldn't quite make out what it was, and it put it off style as just a regular breakfast stout with no, not declared as barrel aged kind of thing, wood aged. Anyway, no bad stuff, no DMS, diacetyl, any of that. Very cleanly fermented and a lot of nice fruity, dark dark fruit raisiny esters, some nice malt components in there underneath all the coffee and chocolate and roast.
Man, it's the shitty thing about listening to this stuff is that I didn't taste it, and then you said that, the dark raisiny characters underlying all that stuff, and instantly I'm going, oh, for sure, it tastes like a lot of like the higher crystals.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's anything in there, but that's now what I get, where before it was kind of an incomplete... It's not shitty, but,
Very complex nose, and I really enjoyed it a lot. I think balancing all the different elements that are in there, bourbon, coffee, cocoa nibs, the style, the breakfast stout, it's a lot to take in and try to get everything to come through. So some things with that much declared might have to be a little lower. You might have to sacrifice one to make the other come out. Yeah. Anyway, the coffee's kind of winning here. That's fine. Appearance-wise, it's rich black, almost opaque, and it does have some really nice highlights to it. The edges seems clear. Had a low tin head that persisted for a little while and faded, but with this kind of ABV, it was that's forgivable. It did have a little bit of a kind of mousse-like thing when it was there, and some larger bubbles, and just dropped out. Flavor-wise, I'm getting a smooth, low alcohol in there. That's just a side note that I wanted to mention, but yeah. I'll fill out my score sheet and I'll write stuff on the side. It's like, well, I didn't comment on this. I want to note that. I want to say, yeah. Anyway, flavor-wise, it's rich, roasty malt. It has a big, smooth coffee element. It's not harsh at all. That's one thing I really like about this beer. It's prominent, but it's also in balance. It's coming through to the point where it's like, wow, there's a good amount of coffee in there, but I also get this, and this. There's a medium-low chocolatiness in there, clean ale fermentation, apparent. The balance is definitely to the roast, the dark malts, and that coffee and light chocolate kind of just linger in the aftertaste. It'd be interesting to know what kind of chocolates you used in there, what kind of what you did with your dry nibbing or the chocolate process and chocolate malts that you used. It's really nice and smooth. It's not like a bitingly bitter dark chocolate bar. It's a smoother impression.
Yeah, definitely.
No obvious hop. It's just kind of low. The bitterness is kind of medium and out of the way. It's that would push that up too high. It's going to fight with everything else there. Mouthfeel wise, it's medium to medium full bodied. I agree that it is kind of on the lighter side. It feels, and one thing I said about this beer too is, it's weird to say watery for a beer that's this strong, but it has. It's not watery, but it's not as full as you might like it to be, and as round as you might like it to be. So I agree with Doc there. For an imperial stout, you want to bring out some of the, like you said. I like the word shoulders too. That's a good one. The whole bro thing analogy is another story, but yeah.
Sorry, man.
No, that's funny. It's good. It does have a light little creamy impression to it too, in a way. But I do also get that light kind of chalkiness, as you've been talking about that. And that's, so like kind of, it's a little drier than some, and that's fine. There's a range of what can be accepted, but it's creamy, but yet it's a little powdery, dusty.
I don't accept it.
No, I didn't get any astringency myself. I thought it was very smooth for how much dark malt there must be in here. Yeah. It's super smooth drinking overall. There's nice KBS with all the desired elements. Everything that I want to be there is there, and is declared as a booze barrel beer. Yeah, okay, that's light. It's in there, and it's not to the point where it's going to fight with anything. Could it be brought up a little bit? Maybe. I wouldn't want it to be too high to start fighting with the coffee or covering up the chocolate, but it's. The body could definitely be increased a bit, and the booze, again, it's almost hidden. Just bump it up ever so slightly, and bring up the body a little bit. And it seems like this would be a really stellar beer. It's great as it is. I think it's an excellent beer. It just seems a little lighter than it is with the way the body's expressing itself. And it's a very nice beer. I gave it a 42, honestly, because I just judged it for what it was and what I was tasting and what I was enjoying. And the dryness doesn't offend me as much as it did to Doc. I agree that a little bit more sweetness and a little more fullness would round it out, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, that would bring it up towards 45, 48. If you need the flavors that are there, it's super clean, very tasty, and it'd be fun to talk to you about what you put into this.
Yeah, so definitely, if you would have put in a different category, like I said, I'd give you a 40.
Or if he brings up the booze a little bit and gets that balance right, gets a little more body, then it's right there for this style, right?
It's a really nice beer.
I mean, you have to put it somewhere. It's got wood aging to it, so like as a brewer,
you can't hide that.
Well,
and that's what you want to do,
beer.
right? Well, I think there's some I think you get some mouthfeel tannin, some mouth tannin, some structure tannin.
I definitely got
from the barrel, but I agree with Doc. There's not like a bourbon barrel characteristic. I mean, there's bourbon in there, I feel like, but I feel like the vanillinins and like those kind of things. It didn't give you wood.
No. And
it's not a tall man with a big chest, so
and you could adjust this beer too. You could just you could wood age it a little more with some cubes soaked in bourbon and just bump it up a notch and just see what happens to it.
Yeah.
Okay, wait till you hear what I did with this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's hear what you did with it.
Oh, did you see the 37-page diatribe he has? Oh, my God.
Are those the notes from the last time he came on the show?
It is. And, cheers to Lee. He helped me a lot with this beer.
Lee knew his
helped me a lot with to be a judge, too, which I didn't mention that. I've become I think I'm the same level as you, JP, right?
Oh,
Just
shit.
the
Recognized?
lowest possible. Recognized?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so cheers for recognized.
Wow.
Let me see. I got my card. Yeah, here it is right here. I am recognized. Judge number G1029, motherfuckers.
I'm going to slide my chair just a little farther away.
I almost wore my pin tonight, but I thought you guys would make fun of me.
No.
Fuck that.
So anyway,
One more thing.
I brewed this beer because the friend who taught me how to brew, his daughter was getting married, and he said, I want you to brew a few beers for her wedding. And so this is one of the 3 beers that I brewed for that wedding.
You made a lot of people happy, didn't you?
And yes, I did. I did. A lot of people were happy with this beer.
Happy and hungover.
I took what you guys found last year, and especially JP with his Starbucks barista experience.
Oh, yes.
Helped me fix my coffee edition. So I had put...
Oh, okay, good.
I had put ground coffee in at the end of the boil, and you guys got crazy green pepper.
Yes, totally.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the one you put in like a maple...
Yes. This is the same barrel,
okay.
But this is the 3rd beer in it now.
Because it's funny, I was just listening to that show again, too, and I was like, I
was listening to it on the way over here, too.
that was a fun episode to listen to.
And so I changed the way that I did coffee, and I cut it down a little bit. I only did 4 ounces. I did a cold steep overnight that I just added in secondary. And the cocoa nibs was, this is a 30-liter batch, so about 8 gallons. The cocoa nibs were a pound of cocoa nibs that I soaked in vodka for a week, and then just threw the vodka and the cocoa nibs in for another week into the beer.
I just fell in love with you.
Yeah, I love it. And now the thing about the barrel is the barrel's been through, this is the 3rd beer to go into it, and so there's no barrel character left in it. And so what I had done, I talked to Jamil about refreshing barrels, and he's going through some ideas about carving out and recharring the insides, which I wasn't going to go through. But I put some bourbon back into it, and then put the beer in after I took the bourbon out. And so I only got bourbon character. I didn't get any wood character at all.
I think you're out of it by that point because you've already sucked all the vanilla out of it. All the sap out of this thing.
You think it's gone neutral? More neutral.
Now, if you taste this before I did my adjustments, and Doc's show on the session for brewing a beer to kind of add to another beer to fix it was a huge help. I didn't brew another full beer, but what I did is I had so much bourbon in this beer that it was almost undrinkable.
Too much.
And so what I did is I cold steeped the dark grains again, and so I had chocolate malt and roasted barley and Carafa 2 and some Crystal 120. I did another cold steep of those grains and just added that extract to the beer, just to water out the bourbon taste a little bit. And I think that might be a little the watery that you get in it. Because that's just cold extract that didn't ferment anymore.
I think it was just water. And that's probably bottom out your mouthfeel.
Yeah, and that's also what brought the alcohol level down is because I did water. Now, the other thing that I tried to do was get a little wood character into it, so I bought some of those beer sticks.
Okay.
And I didn't want to put them in the beer at this point, and so I soaked those in vodka as well. And so I just made a vodka wood extract of the beer that I threw in the beer, just a vodka tincture of oak.
Okay.
And it didn't quite do enough, but it did just enough, I think, to get a little bit
There's something
of character in there.
Yeah.
And so, that's what I ended up with.
I got a little bit of tannins in the mouthfeel and the flavor, and a little bit of oak in the nose, but it's
definitely
super subtle. Super subtle.
American oak?
At least the bourbon isn't the only thing
it was
there
American
anymore.
oak. Yeah, it was American oak.
Because what's the other oak?
French.
Hungarian or French.
Or Hungarian.
Yeah.
Hungarian gets me like...
Yeah, Hungarian I don't particularly like.
It's all tingly right here.
Hungarian's very sweet. I like Hungarian, especially like medium plus. I don't know why. Like maybe the higher char, because it is sweeter.
Yeah.
You're drinking this like you
French.
smoked a cigar or something, you get that.
Oh, yeah. I get this tingling on my lips. I just know it's Hungarian.
Yeah.
Funny.
I don't know why. I mean, I haven't used it in forever, but...
Maybe you should.
Yeah, it's...
Bring out your wood.
Bring out my wood.
I haven't used a Hungarian in forever.
I haven't. Anyways, so American, though. That's what you use.
So I used American oak for that. More beer didn't have French. I wanted French for it, but oh well.
That's rare.
They usually do.
Yeah, that's rare.
They were just out of it that day when I went in, and I was in a panic at that point because it was like 2 weeks before the wedding, and I had to fix this beer because it was undrinkable at the time.
No.
And so I fixed the beer. We went through 5 gallons of it. Fortunately, I saved another 5 gallons for myself.
Yeah.
Actually 3 gallons for myself, and that's what you guys have here.
No, it's super drinkable, and that's so interesting about the watery.
So with the coffee, did you do? You just did a cold brew?
I did a cold steep overnight that I put into secondary.
Double strength?
No, I got
that's the component.
He talked about double strength.
Had to keep it away from the kids.
Double strength.
Yeah, I did. I got roasted coffee from just a local place in Danville where I live. I went in and I did just what you said. I said, okay, give me cuppings of all the different blends that you have. And I just picked my favorite out.
Nice. Yeah, that's all you do.
Yeah.
But do next time double strength. Because you'll get rid of that watery. I tell you, man, and that goes back to a Red Hook beer. I forget the name of it, but they use Starbucks Italian roast, but double strength. And that was the thing. And that was to this day, that was the best coffee beer I've ever had. Double strength Italian roast, which is really sweet. I don't really like Italian roast, but it worked. Try double strength.
Nice. Okay.
Anyway, do you have any questions? I mean, we kind of did a round, which is great. This is why I love in studio guests, because there's no pacing, essentially.
Right.
We just kind of talk about it, which is
smart
awesome.
ones that know what they're doing and keep tedious notes and have everything at their disposal here.
Yeah.
It's fun to talk to you, Ernesto.
That's nice, Brian.
Yeah.
Some people call me anal, but
well,
tedious is a step up there.
Tedious detail, we thrive on that stuff.
Right. Okay, well, if that's it, then we're going to take a break real fast, I think, because we've only taken one break.
Okay. We are union,
my
right?
My bladder knows.
Yeah, so I got to go rush to the bathroom. We got 4 minutes. And then we'll come back and wrap. That's Spanish.
That is Spanish.
We'll come back and wrap it up, and then we'll get out of here. It's Dr. Homebrew. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5 Star Chemicals. 5 Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5 Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5 Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star San, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5 Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5 Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5 Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5 Star treatment today.
Tampa Bay has become a great destination for craft beer lovers with more than 60 breweries and counting, like Cigar City, Tampa Bay, and Coppertail Brewing. One of the newest breweries is Four Stacks Brewing Company in Apollo Beach. Four Stacks believes that the West Coast can't have all the fun, so while we feature West Coast beer like Stone, Ballast Point, and Green Flash on tap, we also brew hopped up ales to our liking in the West Coast style, even as they're truly Florida. Come in and see for yourself. Four Stacks hosts monthly homebrew club meetings, bottle shares, and partners with local restaurants for free food delivery while you enjoy your pint in their new tap room. Stop by Four Stacks Brewing and support the greater Tampa Bay craft beer scene at a brand new community-oriented independent brewery. Four Stacks Brewing, bringing the best of the West Coast style and attitude. Four Stacks Brewing Company in Apollo Beach, Florida. Admit it. Homebrewing is not always free of frustrations. Years ago, brothers Bill and Jim Mitchell decided to minimize those frustrations and create an entirely new brewing process and a brand new kitchen appliance, the Pico Brew Zymatic. The Zymatic sits on your kitchen counter and connects to the internet via Wi-Fi. It comes with access to a huge recipe library full of award-winning beers and can brew your next batch at the push of a button. Improve repeatability and refine your recipes with the Pico Brew Zymatic. With minimal cleaning and hassle, the Zymatic enables anyone to brew craft beer in the comfort of their own kitchen. Just add your ingredients and the process of homebrewing becomes simplified and automatic, allowing you to focus on what really matters while you brew. At Pico Brew, they believe everyone should be able to enjoy the art of homebrewing and make their own damn good craft beer. See the Zymatic in action today at picobrew.com. Grog tags aren't just for labeling your home brews to hand out to your friends. They're the perfect way to round out your personal brewing marketing. Bringing your latest beer to a funeral? Craft a metal sign to go with it. Heading out to little Liam's bar mitzvah? Grog Tag custom bottle caps are awesome. Couldn't get out of jury duty this year? Grog Tag the hell out of the deliberation room with reusable labels. Grog Tag has an awesome array of products just waiting to be customized by you. Metal signs, coasters, tasting mats, bottle caps, tap handles. It's all there waiting for your designs at Grog Tag. Liven up your next party with the widest selection of custom products ever offered by a sponsor of the Brewing Network. Grog Tag. At least your beer will look good.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but we're going to have to pour you out.
Back to Dr. Homebrew.
Again?
All right. Thanks very much, everyone, for hanging out. And we're back.
Again.
We're back again. We're back again. We're back here to wrap things up with Dr. Homebrew. But first, I do want to chat about how excited I am that Brian is using the beer bug.
Yeah,
I keep talking about it, but damn, that thing is cool.
It's a fun little gadget, man. We did a shallow grave porter clone with it, and it tracked that for us nicely.
You did?
Yeah.
How'd that come out?
The beer was great. We poured it at the Livermore Craft Brewers Craft Brew Festival last month, and it was very popular. And then I did a.
Is that like the Honey and Wine Festival or whatever? Now is it called something else, or is that a separate?
They just started it last year in Livermore. Since there's you can't walk 10 blocks in Livermore without tripping over a brewery, and so
anymore, or a winery.
They just had to start a festival, and there's.
Yeah. A lot of all that stuff.
It's all about the beer. I mean, it's just all the breweries from around the Bay Area come there and hang out and bands and stuff. But anyway, So the beer bug is a lot of fun to play with, and you can definitely, like, for those that want to know where things are and be able to watch your fermentation from work, you can do that. And then
work.
People that make mead, especially, I think, could really benefit from this, where if you want to, especially if you want to leave a little residual sweetness in your mead before it dries out to zero, you can stop your fermentation where you want to and know, like, okay, it's at 10:13 now. That's where I want to stop it. Or, maybe I should. It's getting down to the 10:20s. I should taste it and see when I want to stop it.
There's no guessing.
Yeah.
Well, there's also no sample taking.
You don't have to muck around in your beer as much. Yeah, you just know.
I don't like mucking.
Little mucky mucks?
Nothing mucking.
Nothing mucking.
No mucking.
All right, Brian. So we have 2 beers on the slab here, I suppose. And then...
what's the Twitter game?
Wrong show. Wrong day.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're doing great. You know it's the wrong day because you're not there. You're here. You're at a different seat.
I know.
You're at a different microphone.
I'd be halfway into Tasty right now.
Yeah, which may or may not be a bad thing. That sounds like a fan fiction.
Oh.
Like fan erotica.
Ooh.
Halfway into
Tasty. Doc's halfway into Tasty.
Sometimes.
Part 1. The legend, the quickening.
Tasty.
We can cut out parts of the show that we don't like after in post production, right?
No, it's not.
There was that whole awkward moment with the
it's all live. This is live. It's already happened.
So weird.
That's what makes it fun.
By the time you realize it's happened, or by the time you realize it's happening, it's already happened.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of live radio.
Because you guys know each other so well, you almost predict what each other is saying, and then you'll just go back and forth with these little things. And I was there watching this. I was like, what the hell are these guys saying? Isn't this show about beer?
No, not all the time.
Come on, man.
You gotta leave a little bit of leeway for fun stuff.
You got to slide in at the end.
You got to slide in halfway in.
Tedium and detail and
no pun intended.
Well, we do, but then you pull back a little bit because what makes people listen and keep listening is personality. So you got to share a little bit of personality, and you got to be, you got to open it up a little bit, and then you kind of crush it with the information. You kind of just back off a little bit. It's like
I will work on this personality.
It's touch and go.
It's like beating your kids. You don't want to do it too hard,
but you want to do it at Kmart.
But you want to do it in a Kmart, right?
Here they go again.
Listen to this show in a Kmart. I don't know, whatever.
I never beat my kid in Kmart.
No.
Everybody does.
Yeah. That's
do?
Best Buy.
Okay.
Now. Best Buy.
They wait to get to Kmart before they beat their children.
It's a new generation, Doc. Best Buy. Or Fry's.
No.
I think Fry's is not. Fry's is the Kmart of electronic stores.
Not going to do it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, so we do have something to give away. We have a $40 gift certificate to grogtag.com, our fine sponsor who you can purchase customizable, reusable beer labels, wine labels. They also have coasters. They have bottle caps, customized bottle caps, dude. They have metal signs.
Those
they
are
have
cool. Yeah.
tap handles. They're really cool. Yeah, I think they're oxygen absorbing as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
I believe so. They may have changed it, but I'm not entirely sure.
Grogs and tags.
Grogs and tags, baby. So, and that, very jokingly, very lovingly goes to the person with the lowest score because, as we all know, the Grog Tag tagline is at least your beer will look good.
And, our losers are the winners.
Our losers are the winners. So, in my opinion, we have a pretty tight race. I don't remember the scorings, but Brian, who won the $40 gift certificate to grogtag.com?
And that would be our friend William, who was a good sport tonight and hung out and had a good chat with us.
Nice, William. All right, man. Congratulations, dude.
Thank you.
I'll make sure that...
and the guys at the bar enjoyed the sour, too. We passed it around out there, and
they really did.
Well, that's good. William will enjoy it because I won it last time, and I have some great coasters from Grog
nice.
Tag.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool, dude. All right. Well,
and then he listened to us, and
that's it.
Improved his beer so much that it needed all kinds of adjusting.
I think we're out of here now. I think that's finally our cue to go. Yeah, Nesto, thanks for coming in, man.
It's great to be here.
I appreciate it. And next time you got some beer, let me know.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll taste round 3 of this
away,
beer.
right?
15 minutes here anytime.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That's number, yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Dr. Homebrew.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys later. Be good to each other.
Yeah.
Bye.